Hello and welcome to the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Live tonight for the summer season here in 2023 from Summit Point Raceway to kick things off. A great racetrack down here in West Virginia. 1.98 miles, 10 corners, 20-minute race format this season. Looks like we're going to be going with the two-race format, unlike the 40-minute format that we saw at points during the last season. This is the opening race as mentioned, and we are here for 9 races this season, all of them brought to you right here on eSpeed 2. We want to thank you for tuning in here tonight and supporting the second channel. You guys are the prime league that we do showcase here on eSpeed 2 Thursday nights, 8:15 p.m. And look forward to another great season of racing with these guys. Their league is presented by SEOMike and Duncan Racing Designs. You'll hear more about them at the halfway break in tonight's action between the two races. As we are taking a look at Harley Lewis, who was so impressive at points during the spring season. Currently 6th on the qualifying charts here tonight at Summit Point. They are racing the GT4 cars throughout the season. We have a variety of machines on the track. The Porsche be on your screen is the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. Also got BMW M4 machines, Mercedes AMG GT4s, Aston Martin Vantage GT4s, and I believe that is it. There may be a few more that show up throughout the season, but new names here currently at the top of the charts. Take a look at the qualifying ticker. 14 drivers here tonight. Good to see people returning after kind of a hiatus for many during the spring season in those LMP machines. But it is Liam Rizaitis. I butchered the name, but he is currently quickest here by about 67 hundredths of a second. Adam Cole, who was so good in those cars last season, until second. Brian Kennedy, another driver who won a few races in those fast cars. That's himself third. Clint Fletcher, who's always a contender here in this league, no matter what car we're in. Currently shown in the number 69 and 4th position. Ride on board Clint as he is wheeling it right now, trying to pick up some lap time. Back end starting to come around. He's going to lose the handle on that car. Up on board with the Porsche machine of Harley Lewis. And working down the back side of the racetrack, trying to get at least one more lap in. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for here this evening. We will try and follow along throughout tonight's event. Jared Treacle making a return. Good to see him back. He's in the Mercedes machine. For other drivers who are getting close to the start-finish line, Adam Cole across the stripe as qualifying is going to come to close. He's not able to pick up any time there. We'll get to our starting grid. It is going to be an inverted grid. I believe top 10 are inverted. Maybe it's top 12. But let's take a look at our starting lineup. We go through the field. Starting on the pole for race number 1. We Carlos Bonds, the 007. Starting from that top spot. Michael Pavolano. Good to see him back this season. He's going to be starting from the 2nd position. Bruce Wiley will roll off from 3rd. Darren Treacle going to start from the 4th position. Rolling off from 5th here tonight, it'll be Harley Lewis in the Porsche machine. Aaron Dietrich alongside him in the number 12, going to start from 6th. Clint Fletcher, he'll roll off from the 7th spot this evening. Ryan Kennedy going to start in the 8th position. Adam Cole rolling off 9th, and Liam Rizaitis going to start in the 10th spot. Outside the top 10 tonight on the grid, going to be David Curtis, Jesse Brannon going to roll off from the 12th position. Robert Benson starting in 13th, and Scott Kim round out the field here tonight. The 7-Eleven machine flashing the lights right there for us on camera. He will be shotgun on the field. We have 14 drivers tonight. This just under 2-mile race course. Be a good, exciting night of racing, and we're glad to be back with these guys. Good to see more drivers turn out for the summer season in these GT4 cars as well. Waiting for the pace car to get the move on. So the way this is going to work tonight, if you're not familiar with the league, with their race formats, it is a 20-minute race, endurance race style. Then it's going to be an invert of the top 10 drivers. And we will get another 20-minute feature race. This is kind of like a heat format. Heat race and feature format. As we are green here from Summit Point, kick things off. We've got cars in the grass already. Banging doors 3 wide at the back of the field. Out in front, it is Carlos Bonds trying to lead him down into turn number 1. Gonna be a tough task to cram all of these race cars down into the corner. We do have a couple that went off the racetrack for a brief moment, but seems everyone has gotten through the corner. All 14 drivers off and away. Nose to tail, the top 3, and we've got a car around. That is Aaron Dietrich going into the barrier. Oh my goodness, issues already here for Aaron Dietrich in lap number 1. Let's take a look at the replay. That checkered machine. And not sure if he got tagged, but definitely made contact with the barrier. We're trying to get a better view of this. Not just lost control all on his own. Makes contact there. Passenger side into the wall as we go back up into the front of the field. Hard racing going on here, side by side, 2 rows deep. Harley Lewis, Bruce Wiley. This is for third on back as Darren Treacle's moved his way up to second. And trying to track down Michael Pavolano. They go into the corner here 2 by 2. Lap 1 has been completed. This is the start of lap number 2, but look at this racing. We haven't seen this in a little while from these boys, but putting on a show for us. As there goes Rositis for a slide, hanging on to it. That was actually Clint Fletcher, and we've got a car spinning further up the racetrack. That is Michael Pavolano, your race leader. Happened to Pavolano. Maybe similar situation what we saw, and he does make contact with the barrier driver's side there. Let's go back to Clint Fletcher and take a look at his replay. He got tagged, I believe. I think that was Carlos Bonds. Yeah, the number 2, just a little contact. Great job hanging on to it. Hanging tight there in the hang tight racing machine. He will be off and away. Only falls to 5th position, and Darren Treacle now with a big advantage out in front, almost 3 seconds at the end of lap number 2. Bruce Wiley's cleared himself into 2nd position. He's got Harley Lewis all over the tail of that number 67 machine. All kinds of chaos here in the first 2 laps. Aaron Dietrich has taken pit road. Michael Pavolano, I would expect, would also bring it in. I think he is possibly on his way there. I think there's a car maybe sitting on the racetrack. Not exactly sure. But meanwhile, battle for 2nd spot. Harley Lewis not able to take advantage there. Wiley hangs on to it. Behind them, Brian Kennedy. Different look in the gas burn machine. Trying to close in on those 2. He is bringing Clint Fletcher and Liam Rositis right alongside. Zaitis was the fastest in qualifying, so keep an eye on that Aston Martin. We work down this long front stretch, getting up to nearly 150 miles an hour. Working the outside lane, that is a tough move to make. Clint Fletcher able to hang on. We got a battle further back. Adam Pohl starting to try and make some progress forward. I think he had some issues early on. Started 9th, running 9th. Expect him to work his way forward, having been second fastest in qualifying. This is where we want to watch, right up here, this battle. Harley Lewis on back. We've got 5 cars under a blanket. With Brian Kennedy, one of our biggest movers. Long sweeper right hand corner. This track's so much fun. One of the beginner courses in the Miatas. You join iRacing, but I'm not sure if they still have that in the lineup, the rookie series. But this is one of my favorites here on the service. He went a little deep in the corner there, lost some time to Harley Lewis in front. These Porsches a little underpowered on the straights compared to the Mercedes. And the Aston Martins as well. He's hanging tough, and the BMW, Bruce Wiley, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack last time by, faster than Darren Treacle by a few tenths. Still 14 minutes left in this race. We'll be completing about 17 laps by the end of this. Make sure to follow along, subscribe, like, share if you are enjoying the race tonight. Really helps us out a lot, especially on this second channel. Really do appreciate it. We are getting some lap traffic up in front of the race leader. I'm not sure that is. No, I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? We don't have any. That's just Darren Treacle so far out in front. I thought he was a lap machine. But he is about 3.5 seconds up the road from Bruce Wiley. He is still hanging on over Harley Lewis. This 3-car gaggle right here, though, nose to tail. Surprised to see a little contact made at some point in this race. They probably don't have to make a pit stop, being only a 20-minute event. Never know. Ooh, Clint Fletcher goes wide into the sand. That could open up an opportunity for Liam, the number 2, to make a run at it. And he's going to take a shot here down into turn number 1. Goes around the outside. Nose damage on that 2-car. Be able to get the power down out of turn number 1. Pohl now makes a move. He moves to 8th position. So continuing to march forward slowly in the number 11. Top 15 drivers earn points. That means everybody earns points here tonight. Gets bigger fields, closer to 20, 25 drivers as they've had in the past for some of the different series. That means some drivers are battling for those final points, and we may see that at different moments during the season. Adam Pohl, one of those drivers you expect to make his way towards the front, still taking his time, about half the race left to go. Look at this, trying to make moves or fake moves down into turn one. Ryan Kennedy took a shot, and now we've got side by side. Here comes Liam Ridzaitis in the number 2. Very strong on the brakes into turn one. He's pulled alongside. Now going to work through left-hander, but he backs out. Stays in line and going to try and force a mistake out of Brian. Very impressive stuff. I haven't seen Liam here in the league before, so this could be his first opportunity racing against these guys. Not a good showing right now. Biggest mover of the race. All these drivers in tow behind Bruce Wiley in second spot, who's not been able to gain any time on Darren Treacle. That gap now 4.2 seconds. We're past the halfway point. Treacle can count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. You've got Bruce Wiley then coming into the picture. Guys really going at it here. Looking at some other battles on the racetrack. I'm not seeing any at the moment. Auto drivers up a couple of spots. Michael Pavolano has not brought it to pit lane at all. But he is all the way back to 13th after leading this race for a brief moment. Ooh, might have an opportunity for a battle right here. Brian Kennedy. Liam Ridzaitis not able to make that happen. Backs out, settles in the line. Can he get a good run off the corner here? I think he set himself up to maybe get passed by Clint Fletcher, who's going to bump draft him down the straightaway. Clint trying to push him along. Not going to make an attempt down into turn one. Kind of outbrakes himself a little. So does Brian Kennedy, and here comes the 2 once again. Adam Pohl making a move there. He'll go to 7th around Carlos Bonds. 5.5 seconds up the road. Clint Fletcher, the next one in line. Really wheeling it out here. You can hear the car starting to slide a little bit, especially late in the race. Early lift there. Nice run on exit. But he's got that nose damage. I think it could be affecting him against the Mercedes. He might try something down into turn one. Takes a peek. Driver's right. Try to go hard on the brakes here. And Kennedy leaves the door open, and there you go. Liam Ridzaitis now up to 4th, continuing his march towards the front. Charlie Lewis still trying to make a move on Bruce Wiley. Looks like Darren Treacle went off the racetrack a little while back there. Good racing going on here tonight at Summit Point, and that's what I expected. These GT4 cars have always put on a good show in this league. Green Machine closing in just slowly. He's fastest car on the racetrack. Only driver still in the 113s. That is the number 2 car. Really good run that time for Harley Lewis. He's nearly alongside. They work back to the left here. Kind of got Bruce Wiley offline there, and he's in the dirt. And there we go. Change for second, change for third. Can Liam Rositis make the move to go to second in just that short span of time? But Bruce Wiley's fallen to fourth. Trying to cross over. Trying to get alongside. Not able to do it that time. Battle for second is on. It's Harley Lewis now holding on to the position. 5 minutes and counting left in this race. What a battle we've seen up here inside the top 5. Harley Lewis hang on for about 3 more. Actually, it's even more laps than that. It's about 4 laps. They cross the stripe. This is lap number 13. Completed, and Brian Kennedy going defensive further back. Harley Lewis sees the green machine in his mirror. Able to stay solid on the brakes. Hangs on to second spot. They're losing time. Darren Treacle, here we go. Challenge for that spot. Not going to happen, but same move, same spot as last time around. Here comes Rositis. Pressuring hard for second. This is allowing Brian Kennedy to close in as well. He's gotten through the 4th position around Bruce Wiley. Bruce ran second for a lot of this race. He's all the way back to 5th now in just the matter of 1 lap. Really good set of corners there for Harley Lewis. Hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. This is very exciting racing. A little further back, Clint Fletcher now trying to take one away from the 67. He's going to challenge down into turn 1. Bruce Wiley leaves the door open. Not going to be able to defend. And there goes Fletcher. Clint Fletcher on through to 5th. At a pole, only about 3 seconds back. Could still have a shot to get into 6th. These two get to battling again. Cars off into the dirt. It looks like that was Brian Kennedy losing some time. But how about this? Back end of the racetrack here. Such a fun little section as you get into these S's. Hard on the throttle, shifting up through the gears right there. Great battle for second as they work down the front stretch. Work in the draft is Liam in the number 2. Harley Lewis trying to hang on. Leaves the door open on the inside. Here comes the Aston Martin. And he is going to complete the pass. A little bit of contact there, but just a little rubbing. Got the elbows out. 2 minutes left. Can Harley Lewis get second position back? Using every inch of racetrack is that 2 machine. Only the fastest car on the racetrack for most of tonight. Qualified on pole, but Darren Treacle not gotten a lot of airtime. He's been out front this whole race. Pretty much. He's led 13 out of the 14 completed laps. He's got a margin of 4.3 seconds. Smooth as you like through the final corner. I have 2 to go. Battle quite a bit further back. You've got Scott Kim a couple of seconds behind Robert Benson. Scott's been a little bit faster here the last few laps. I wonder why it's saying 5 laps to go. We are under a minute to race here, and they're going to get the white flag this next time by. So interesting that the timing and scoring is doing that to us, but I know there's been an update recently. The battle to watch Brian Kennedy, Clint Fletcher, 4th and 5th. 2 Mercedes machines. The battle here. Clint Fletcher up 2 spots. Brian Kennedy up 4. Biggest mover by far, Liam Ritzaitis into the 2nd spot. White flag is going to be in the air for Darren Treacle, who stunk up the show here in race number 1, but he's lucky that 2-car didn't get through a little bit sooner than he did, because he is flying about 0.6 quicker last time around. As Clint Fletcher, Ryan Kennedy changed positions on the last lap. Ryan Kennedy can get him back, but he is faded just a little bit here in the late going. Watch those two. That's about your closest battle for position. Bruce Wiley right with them. You can see Brian Kennedy just sliding the rear tires so much right there. This is the driver I'm watching for, though, in the next race. Darren Treacle's going to be starting back there with him as they invert the field. But it is going to be Darren Treacle winning the heat race here at Summit Point by 3 seconds. Liam Ritzaitis up from the 10th spot. And how about Clint Fletcher? Oh, contact from Brian Kennedy as they go off into the woods. It's going to be Darren Treacle, your heat race winner. It will be going on in the feature here where they invert the field. Let's take a look at the race results in this one here. That is your top 10 finishers. And that, Robert Benson, a few others there, making up the rest of your field. So we are going to go to the halfway break to hear from our sponsors. We'll be back with the feature race, the field invert. We'll go through your starting grid for that one. We'll be right back. From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email. SEOMike helps businesses of all sizes achieve higher search engine rankings to drive more traffic and increase sales. Contact SEOMike today for a free website evaluation and quote. Mention this ad for 15% off your initial setup. SEOMike, marketing websites on the internet since 1997. Visit SEOMike.com. And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot
no! Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Swack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
You're back at the racetrack now, getting ready to go to our starting grid for the feature event. A few seconds left, and we are counting down. See where your favorite drivers are going to be rolling off here tonight in the feature race. Is Darren Treacle winning the heat? He's going to be Jesse Brannon rolling off from the top spot here in the feature race. The top 10 get inverted. And that is how it's going to be, at least for this race tonight. We'll see if they stick with that for the whole season. It's always made for interesting racing. But Jesse Brannon, he'll roll off from the top spot tonight in the feature race. David Curtis is going to start from second. Carlos Bond's going to roll off from third. Adam Pohl going to start from fourth, looking to get a better result than he got in the heat race. Bruce Wiley start from the fifth position in the feature tonight. Ryan Kennedy going to roll off from 6th. Clint Fletcher going to start in 7th. Harley Lewis will roll off from the 8th position. Starting in 9th tonight, it'll be Darren Treacle. Or Liam Rudzaitis, rather. And then rounding out the top 10, Darren Treacle. Robert Benson starting 11th. Scott Kim starting in 12th. Michael Pavolano roll off from the 13th position. And Aaron Dietrich not taking the grid for tonight's feature race. So that's a little interesting. We'll see. He does end up gridding up from pit road. Jesse Brannon going to lead the field down towards the start line. Green flag in the air. Field in the hands of Jesse Brannon and David Curtis as they work down towards turn number 1. Orderly down into the corner. Seems everyone's made it through for the moment. No contact anywhere throughout the field. Nice job there, already battling though. Here comes Darren Treacle trying to make his way through. And contact with the 2 machine of Rudzaitis. The fastest car on the track. Gonna have to go from the tail of the field and a long ways to make up. Already 9 seconds and counting behind your race leader. He gets spun around off the nose of Darren Treacle. Let's go take a look at what happened. Little bit of tight racing going on there. Not sure if anyone's fault, really. Let's take a look. He tried to kind of come across the nose. Luckily, nobody else runs into him. Gets stuck in that dirt for a second. Now a lot of time to make up the tail end of the field. David Curtis going to lead lap number 1. Jesse Brannon hanging on to second. Adam Pohl has moved into 3rd position. Ryan Kennedy already up 2 spots into 4th from 6th. Clint Fletcher right there behind him. Battle for second. Pohl goes around the outside. Try and get that preferred groove into the next corner. And here comes Brian Kennedy right with him. These two who battled so much of last season. And side by side, close racing there. Brian Kennedy not able to complete the pass, but now he does. Fletcher try and find a way around. Almost runs into the back. Jesse Brannon there, side by side. Bruce Wiley, Carlos Bonds, Darren Treacle, Harley Lewis. Zaitis already making up ground on the leaders. Definitely gonna have some hot rear tires on that Aston Martin. Here we go. Harley Lewis took a peek down to the driver's right of Carlos Bonds, not able to do it. Gets a great run here though. So does Darren Treacle. Growl from the AMG Mercedes. Defensive from the 763. Here comes Treacle right on the bumper. Carlos Bonds a little overcooked down into turn number 1. Gonna open the door for both Treacle and Lewis, as well as Scott Kim. Michael Pavolano gonna get through as well, so big mistake from Carlos Bonds, drops him outside the top 10. Out in front, Adam Pohl now takes the lead away. David Curtis falls to second. Brandon and Fletcher side by side, contact made. Aggressive racing here tonight from Summit Point. Those two continue to race on. The top 3 have started to pull away. Really wide through the final corner goes Brian Kennedy through the sand. Cost him quite a bit of momentum. It cost him about a half second. Fletcher trying to close in on those top 3. He's at pace that he should keep up with those drivers in front of him. There's no doubt about it. David Curtis, however, is a little bit off pace from the rest of the top 4. Nature of the invert. Speed not quite up to par with these other drivers. Around him, he's not too far off, though. I mean, he's a 115 versus a 114, and there's contact. Brian Kennedy gets into him in the braking zone. O'Brien just chomping at the bit, trying to get through here. The longer he gets held up, the farther that Adam Pohl might pull away. And here comes Clint Fletcher, going to challenge for third. He is going to take that spot away. Clint Fletcher moving into the third spot. You see Adam Pohl streaking away. How about Harley Lewis and Darren Treacle still going at it back here for 7th and 8th? Two of your top finishers from the heat race. They are right up against each other. No room between those race cars. Such a difficult section of the track to go side by side. It might just work out for Darren Treacle. He's in the preferred groove. Harley Lewis not giving a ton of space. He's still got the nose in there. Now Darren just deep on the brakes, but went too deep, and here goes Harley right back through. Really good racing. Not an inch between these two. And now Harley Lewis has to surrender the spot. Not enough space to make that happen through there. Darren Treacle up to 7th. What a battle, though, for 7th position. David Curtis, he has got Clint Fletcher all over the tail. And I think David Curtis is Adam Pohl's best friend right now. Here goes Clint Fletcher. So deep on the brakes in turn 1, able to complete the pass. He'll set his sights on the race leader. Here comes Brian Kennedy. Good job getting the power down. David Curtis able to clear in front. Intense racing here tonight in these GT4 cars. The battles are so much closer than what we've become accustomed to seeing in some of the faster race cars. Just the battle is as hard with those ones. You're on the edge the entire time. These cars you can wheel and slide them around a little bit more. It's really hang on to the quarter panel of somebody you're racing with for a long time. Clint Fletcher, what he's able to do here if he can chip away into that 3-second margin, but Adam Pohl, lean track all around him. He has now led 4 out of these 6 laps completed. Side by side back here, Mike Pavolano, Liam Roudzaitis trying to recover, being the pole sitter of the night, and then finishing up in second in the heat race, getting turned around on lap 1. This feature race up to 10th now. He really hasn't lost much time to the leaders, having made some passes, but it's just too far back for anything to really fall his way here enough to take a victory. Great debut drive, either way, from that 2 machine. Much driving away from 3rd place. He has made a little bit of a gain on the race leader, and we'll see if Adam Pohl can tires on that race car. Curtis led the first 2 laps. He's fallen back to 3rd. Here comes Brian Kennedy now, trying to challenge him. My apologies. Had the classical music, the intro music playing this whole time. Right here in the mix as well. He's done a good job hanging on from starting up front. This has found pace here as well as David Curtis. These drivers all around 1:14 second laps to kind of mid 1:13s. Aaron Trickle starting to creep into the picture. Bring Harley Lewis with him. Adam Pohl, his lead slowly slipping away, and we'll see if he makes a mistake the closer that Clint Fletcher gets. But that Mercedes AMG close the gap just a little bit. We got about a 4-car battle. 3rd on back. Letting Darren Treacle and Harley Lewis close in, and they are nose to tail as they've been this entire race. And how about Liam Roudzaitis? He is closed up in 9th position, wheeling that race car. Last time around, he was a ½ second quicker than your leader. Fastest lap of the race, his fastest lap as well, obviously, but the fastest of anyone. And he is trying to get back to Darren Treacle. You know he's going to push him. Battle for 3rd. Here goes Brian Kennedy, going to try and complete the pass into turn 1. Keep on the brakes there. Get it completed and slides up in front for 3rd position. That puts David Curtis back 1 more spot. Treacle and Harley Lewis both through the sand there. Really just on the ragged edge right now. Harley Lewis putting the pressure on. Liam Roudzaitis again, fastest car on the track. The 2 car just so powerful here tonight. And to recover and get up there maybe to a top 5 by the end of this race. Battle for second, done and dusted. What happened to Clint Fletcher? Falls to 5th position. And that margin now to Adam Cole, 5.2 seconds. Taking a look at Clint Fletcher, the replay. Got offline into the grass. Great job hanging on to it. But lost all that momentum, all those positions. All that time to the race leader. Not the moment Clint Fletcher wanted. He was having a great race in second position. We'll see if he can recover any of those spots from the 5th position. A lot of really nice looking race cars on the track this evening. Brought to you by Duncan Racing Designs, one of the sponsors of the series. Check them out in the video description. Side-by-side battle right here. Darren Treacle's gotten to 6th. Here goes Harley Lewis to the inside of Bruce Wiley. That battle probably done for the moment. Yes, Martin closing in from behind. Under 6 minutes left to go. The margin is 5.3 seconds. Adam Cole, Brian Kennedy. Still just about one mistake from the driver of the 11, but he is smooth in this one tonight. Oh, and Bruce Wiley's gone off the racetrack through to the other corner. Oh my goodness, that is not something you see very often. Ooh, man, right in front of the 2 car. Wow, and actually clipped a section of the track where the drivers were coming at him. Wow, I didn't know that was even possible at this track, but it's going to result in a massive time penalty or a black flag, and it looks like he's serving that now. So Bruce Wiley, how unfortunate, going to probably end up, yeah, he's shuffled all the way back to last place now. He'll probably get some damage repaired. Serve that penalty, which is going to be extensive. That has moved the 2 car now into the wake of Brian Kennedy, who's fallen to 7th after must have made a mistake as well. Promoted David Curtis back up to 2nd spot. All kinds of pretty wild things happening here. Liam Ridzitis, the 2 machine, Aston Martin closing up on him. That would be a battle for 7th. Darren Treacle's broken into the top 5, so really good night for Darren, winner of the heat race, and he's been able to charge from 10th to 5th. Clint Fletcher right here in front of him. 4th, Bruce Wiley, you see back on the racetrack, a lap down now. That is how far back he's fallen with the penalty. Really just unfortunate there to get off at the worst possible spot on the racetrack where it sends you through to essentially a track shortcut. Last few laps are going to get very interesting for second. Adam Cole breathing easy out here. He doesn't have to deal with any of that. Curtis has been able to create a little bit of separation to Jesse Brannon, and Jesse's had a really nice race here. Hanging tough. He's now potentially in danger of losing a spot, as I just talking about him. But in third, trying to hang on to that podium spot. Here goes Clint Fletcher, charges through. He'll take that, and here comes Darren Treacle. Is he going to be able to follow along? Still side by side. Charges alongside. This is going to slow both of these drivers down. Here comes Harley Lewis. And it's Brian Kennedy and Liam Rizaitis challenging back there. But Darren Treacle up to fourth now, completes the pass on Jesse Brannon. Challenge for this position on the front straightaway. Not a great entry into the corner for the 2 car. The white flag the next lap around for Adam Pohl. Clint Fletcher makes a move now, looking down into turn 1, trying to get that second spot back after having given it up earlier in this race. He still has an opportunity to get it. Brian Kennedy gets knocked out of the way just a little bit there. Still hanging on the quarter panel of the Aston Martin machine. Now gives up the 7th position. He'll fall to 8th. Dirt being kicked up in front of them as they navigate through. Here we go. Clint Fletcher trying to take that spot away. He will. Kicked open the door for an opportunity for Darren Treacle as well. Swinging that car all over the place, coming back to the white flag for Adam Pohl. What a race for him. Really all by himself all race long. He will take that white flag. The battle is now on for 3rd position. Clint Fletcher in 2nd. Looks like he should be able to hang on to it, barring a mistake. Curtis deep into the braking zone. Darren Treacle trying the wide arc entry. Stay on board here with the 70. Everything he can right there on the back bumper of that BMW M4 GT4. David Curtis might be able to hang on to it here. Just this final stretch, the final corner, and then the straightaway. And Adam Pohl, well out in front. He's coming to the start-finish line. He will take the victory here tonight at Summit Point. 2nd place going to be Clint Fletcher. And David Curtis, who led a couple laps in this one, he's going to finish off the podium. Great run for him. Darren Treacle as well, as they pile in there on the front straightaway. Jesse Brannon will complete the top 5. What a race here from Summit Point. Adam Pohl, your top finisher, goes for a little bit of a flight into the woods before he vanishes into the abyss here on iRacing. Let's go to Adam Pohl, your race winner. Summit Point, the season opener here in the BMW Car Club of America National Capital Chapter Sim Racing League. Pull him into the broadcast booth right away. Adam Pohl, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Hey, how are you tonight?
Hey, pretty good, man. And wow, just kind of a casual drive, there on the back roads of West Virginia for this race win tonight. You were way out there, 8 seconds in front, 15 laps led. Talk to us about the first race. It seemed like you had a little trouble passing people there, and then you take the victory in the feature.
Yeah, first race I got a little optimistic on the first lap there with Jesse and stuck my nose where I shouldn't, so apologies to him. Yeah, and I did what I could do, but everyone's got pretty good pace around here, so I kind of made my way up to 7th, and I was starting to close in on the guys ahead and then just ran out of laps, so that was all right. But yeah, second race, got my way to the front after a couple laps, and then it wasn't a relaxing drive. It was head down and keep the lap times fast and consistent to build that gap, because I knew, as the quick guys made their way up, they'd be doing their best to chase me down too.
Yeah, and you're able to hold off everybody there. Clint Fletcher was closing in just a little bit, and then he made a mistake, kind of left you a nice bit of breathing room there. But you take the victory in the feature race. We go to Lime Rock Park next week for race number 2. How do you feel about going out there?
I'll be away with work, so I expect they'll have a good race without me.
So no back-to-back for you, but looking forward to a good race there. You take the win tonight in the feature race. Anybody you want to give a shout-out to?
Well, Perry Duncan has painted most of our cars again for us, so the league is looking awesome. Everyone looks like they know what they're doing, even though it's really just one guy behind the brush doing all the work. So big thanks to him that he's putting in a lot of time here in the last couple weeks, getting us all looking good. So yeah, if you need them, Duncan Racing Design, find them on Trading Paints.
Awesome, Adam. Well, congrats on the victory here in the feature race tonight at Summit Point. Go celebrate, and I guess we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's going to be a Homestead Road Course. That'll be fun.
All right, that'll be something. Thanks for your hosting us tonight.
Yes, sir, and have a good night. Adam Pohl, your race winner here in the feature. Go to second place now, Clint Fletcher, who didn't have it so easy tonight. Clint Fletcher, Adam, in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, man, not all your way tonight, but you managed to claw your way back to second position before it's all said and done. Just describe, race number 1 and the battles you had going on there, and then your battle to get to second here in the feature race.
Race 1, I think, was a great battle. Liam and I, forget who we were battling out with. We were 2x2 down the main straight. And then, of course, he tagged me, but I'm thankful he straightened me back out. And that's heat 1. Heat 2, I'm just happy I kept second. Went off the track, and I for sure thought I was going to spin and crash out, but for some reason I caught it. Then Brian went off, and I was able to crawl my way back to second place.
Yeah, definitely an impressive, drive tonight to be able to hang on after a couple of close calls and get really good finishes in the opener. We go to Lime Rock Park next week. How do you feel about going out there?
I forget which track we're doing. If we're doing it with the chicane, then it's going to be a nightmare, but we'll see. And I guess need to practice a bit for that track because I don't know it very well.
Yeah, it's one of those classic ones, kind of, like along with this one of those starter, or it used to be the starter tracks for the Miatas, but it's really cool to see, cars like the GT4s there. So I'm expecting a great race and a great performance as well. But a couple of nice finishes here tonight at Summit Point. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, Perry, he's making most of the liveries for this broadcast, and I think they all look great. So definitely raises the bar for the broadcast. I think we all look great. And then, of course, you for the broadcasting, and then Mike, all those guys, or Scott, Dean, Brian, those guys for hosting this league.
Awesome, Clint. Well, great drive here tonight in the opener, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Clint Fletcher. Let's go to third place finisher in race number 2. It's going to be David Curtis. Hey, Dave, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Howdy. Yeah, I got you.
Well, Dave, a really strong performance from you here in race number 2. You kept with it. You led a couple laps. You finish on the podium. Just describe your night here at Summit Point.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It's been a while. Been away from the car here for a bit, but it was good to get in with the guys. And of course, the reverse grid helps. It just kind of try to hold them back. Really hard to make the car that wide with everybody so fast. Little mistakes are easy to give up a spot.
Yeah, it definitely looked like, at the start of the race, there were a couple of you guys, I think you and Jesse, who both end up with top fives, at the end of this thing. You guys were off by just a little bit, but as the race went on, your pace picked up, and really, looking at the lap times here, especially the last few laps, you were just as fast as, anybody up there in the top 10. So really good performance and able to hang on to that track position. We go to Lime Rock Park next week. How do you feel about going out there?
Lime Rock's quite the bull ring, and there's usually a lot of contact. So the game plan for Lime Rock is always just to miss the mayhems and, go for the best spot we can. Try to keep the car in one piece.
Yes, sir, and that's one of those classic tracks. A lot of fun to race at, but it is tight quarters at times. So we'll be excited to see how things go there for you and get another podium. But third place here in the feature race tonight. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to 2 Seconds to Denver, out there, band out in Denver, and to everybody that helps teach me. These guys are great teachers, and they're very patient, so appreciate everybody. Thanks, Adam.
Yes, sir, and thank you for your time. David Curtis, third place finisher here tonight at Summit Point. Let's go to our winner in race number 1. Finished 4th. In this one here. Work for us. No, Darren Tree. You get Darren. Hey Darren, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do, Adam. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Good to see you back, and great opening races for this season. You take the victory in the heat race, and you charge your way from 10th all the way up to 4th in the feature race. Describe both of those events from your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I haven't raced in a long time, so I just kind of jumped in last minute, got a few qualifying laps in, and was keeping my fingers crossed. I knew since they were reversing the grid, that probably put me up front, would kind of work out to my favor. And then the plan for the race was just to kind of see what happens, actually, and then if the seas part, then take seize advantage and run with it, and that's pretty much what happened. I got lucky, and some guys kind of had some issues, and I was able to get the lead, and then I just kind of put my head down and tried to get a gap, and then just maintain it at that point. That was pretty much the gist of it for the first race. The second race, it was just kind of about survival more than anything, and trying to slowly work your way through the pack. It's kind of hard to do at Summit Point, especially with these cars being as close as they are in speed, and everybody's got good speed, so it makes it a little bit challenging for sure. So I just kind of tried to fight and claw my way up as I could, and it wasn't quite quick enough, but I'm happy with the result. It was a good run. Everybody's pretty closely matched in speed and pace, and it's not the easiest track to pass on unless someone makes a pretty decent mistake, so.
Yeah, definitely tight quarters here, and it's going to be kind of the same situation, I think, next week at Lime Rock. How do you feel about going out there?
I like Lime Rock. It is tight quarters. It's fast. I usually, I don't know if we've gone there or not, to be honest with you, in this league, but I usually do pretty well there. So I feel good about Lime Rock. Everyone's going to have to try to play nice because it is tight, and it is fast. So, and there's just not a lot of room for error,
Yep, and I think the parity that we're seeing, in this league that just continues to get better and better, I think it's going to make for a really good show next week as well. But and great performance tonight, winning the heat race, and then charging up to 4th here for the feature. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to obviously myself, my insurance agency, Treacle Insurance Agency, and I think Perry Duncan is sponsoring the league. And I'm not sure if SEOMike is still sponsoring the league. Like I said, I jumped in pretty last minute tonight. Just and Scott and everybody for putting on the league. It's good fun.
Yeah, definitely a fun race to watch tonight. Tons of action everywhere, and great to see you back out here, Darren. So congrats on the great drive tonight. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam. Take care.
Thank you. Darren Treacle. We're going to go now to our driver of the night, Liam Rudzitis. Just perseverance, I think, throughout the evening. We brought his name up a lot. Kind of his first race here, I believe, with the league. Really good performance to go fastest in qualifying, charge up to 2nd, and cover from tail end of the field here up to 7th tonight. We'll pull him in and give him a quick. Hey Liam, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I'm here. Hello.
Well, we named you driver of the day tonight. Really just great driving, overall. Not probably the result you wanted in the feature race. You were fastest in qualifying. Got the kind of the bad end of the invert there, but charged to 2nd. And then you gained quite a few spots after getting turned around early in this one. So just describe, the night from your perspective and how you feel you did.
Well, yeah, it didn't go as planned at all. It was going pretty good in qualifying. We had the fastest car, but, I guess it worked out differently in the race. I think I still pulled 2nd in the first, and then I think we pulled off something like, what was it, 7th in the feature? Yep. Yeah, so you know what? Given everything, it's totally satisfactory result.
Yeah, I think your speed definitely showed. You were consistently fastest car on the track. It's just sometimes racing, doesn't go your way, but I think that speed, since you had it here tonight, I think that should carry on throughout the season. But we go to Lime Rock next week. Do you feel confident going out there?
Absolutely. I think I'm just gonna focus on the same things, hitting good lap times, getting a good qualifying spot, and then just making sure I can, do well in both of the races with the inverted grid.
Yeah, definitely a challenge and a unique feature of this league to have that inverted grid, but definitely makes it exciting out there, and you put on a great show for us and all the fans that tune in.
Exciting and very rewarding, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more fun to pass people than drive away with it, and if you can get out there and drive away with it after you've passed them, that's the best feeling. But tough thing to do in this league. So congrats on some great driving and great performance. Anybody want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to the league. Thank you for the BMW guys for hosting this event. This is my first one, so I'm really, really impressed by the organization. Yeah, thanks to them for hosting. That was my one and only.
Awesome, Liam. Well, congrats on a great debut and driver of the day, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you.
Driver of the day, Liam Rudzitis. Probably butchered the name there. Sorry about that. But great driving from him in his debut here. We're going to go to the full results from Summit Point and on out for the night. No cautions, of course. Just one lead change. That was between David Curtis and Adam Pohl. Adam Pohl took the lead, drove away with it once Clint Fletcher made a mistake there from 2nd. He does charge back up, finished in the 2nd spot in the feature. David Curtis will finish on the podium in 3rd. 4th position was Darren Treacle. Jesse Brannon comes home in 5th. Good run for him. Finishing in 6th was Harlan Lewis. 7th was Liam Rudzitis. Finishing in 8th was Brian Kennedy. Finishing in 9th was Michael Pavolano, and rounding out the top 10, Scott Kim. Good performance. Feature Carlos Bonds comes home in 11th. Robert Benson finishes 12th. 13th was Bruce Wiley after issues there, sliding off the track. Then Aaron Dietrich going to come home in the 14th after not starting the feature race tonight. We will be back next Tuesday from Lime Rock Park with these guys. So tune on in for that. Should be a great race. I'm really looking forward to that. And also check out the main channel, V-Speed. We've got a lot of great racing coming your way, starting Saturday night with the Saturday Night Racing League, a new league that's on the network. And then also check out the VSRL Truck Series on Monday night. Below the Double Yellow, their season coming to a close here in a few weeks. They're going to be on Tuesday night as well. And then we've got more action coming at you in the next month or so with the ERX Friday Night League. And we've also got some secret projects coming at you as well on Thursday nights. So definitely looking forward to a lot of great stuff here this summer. Make sure to stay with us, follow, subscribe, share the broadcast with your friends if they're interested in racing. Even if they're not, they might be interested in all the action you see here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to V Speed 2. We appreciate it so much. Have a great night.